Hey, seventh graders. I'm really excited to see that so many of you have logged in. You've already completed your first assignment for distance learning. That's wonderful. Thank you so much for taking the time to do that. I know a few people had messaged that it was pretty easy, and that was kind of the point. That's what we were aiming for. We wanted to just kind of let you get a sense of what this would be like, and then we'll jump into more curriculum based stuff. So I want to introduce you to your next activity, and this activity is pretty meaty, so it's actually going to lead into next week. So we'll, give you a little bit of a head start to get to it. However, it won't be due until Friday of next week. So when you go into the course, no matter what class you're in, they're all going to look similar. You're going to scroll all the way to the bottom till you get to that COVID closure folder that I was referring to. As soon as you open it up, you're going to click that week 1. And I'm going to insert the link for this video here. So I just put something kind of in its place for right now, but when you go in by tomorrow, this will be the link to this video. Okay, so you can actually listen to these directions as opposed to maybe just reading them. So what you'll do is you'll open this up. And mind you, if we were doing this in person, it would probably take us about 2 or 3 class periods to do that. So keeping that in mind, classes are supposed to be shortened now with distance learning. So this is about 5 days worth of work. Okay, you can say that we give you the extra 2 at the end of the week, just to give people a moment to catch their breath, just in case you're getting a little overwhelmed. I probably will put in some kind of discussion post next week just to get an idea of where you guys are at and how comfortable you feel with distance learning, or perhaps even what some suggestions are that you have. But anyway, I don't want to digress. Let me go ahead and jump back into this. So this is the assignment that you're going to have. And you'll notice that what I did, and Miss Ling also helped me with this, we went in and basically for each article, if say you're not interested in really reading it, although I do highly recommend you read it for yourself, you can listen to it. So the first one is really more just audio, it's just listening. But if you click on the other 2 links, you can actually follow along because the article will be up on the screen. But whichever option you're choosing, just making sure you're paying close enough attention, because your directions are to determine each author's position on social media. So really what that's asking is, are the authors for or against social media? And obviously there are 3 different pieces. So reading them, understanding them, and trying to figure out where they stand, and then also supporting with text evidence. So I just want to remind you of this. This is a PowerPoint that we went through, I want to say back in cycle 2. I can go ahead and put it back in the folder just so you guys are able to reference it. But if you guys remember, we had a conversation a little bit about what these terms mean. So remember, the author's position, it refers to what the author thinks about the topic, or it's his or her perspective on the subject. So remember how we talked about how an author's position on something as simple as Italian food can kind of give us their point of view. It can lead to what their point of view is. So one author may write about the many types of pasta and cheeses available in Italian food, and maybe talk about how Italian food offers many delicious choices. Meanwhile, another author may refer to the fact that there's a lot of carbs and too many fat calories. And maybe this author's position is that Italian food is fattening. So you're going to see it's going to say position, but then it's also going to say point of view. They're essentially the same thing. Okay, I didn't create this organizer. This is something that we've gotten from the county. I believe last year we actually changed the terminology so it was the same. So I apologize. I probably should have done that before I post it, but you guys understand. Author's point of view and position are very closely aligned to one another. So if you look at the very next slide, it says here, the author's point of view is really just their perspective, or it's the way that they see the subject or the topic from their eyes. Okay, which is why I gave you the hint of, the person who's either going to be for social media or they're going to be against it. Okay, and when you've read through or listened to the articles, you should also try to provide some textual evidence to support it. Remember, that's a big piece here. We're not going to ask you to put this in essay form or anything like that. But we do want to make sure you're able to support your evidence, because that's kind of the baseline of any argument, is you have to be able to support it with evidence. Okay? So you will have until the 10th to get this done. All right? Please feel free to ask questions. You guys have been doing a really nice job of asking questions when you have them, and I really do appreciate that. I've been trying to keep up with emails and Schoology messages. Just keep them coming if you have any questions. Pace yourself with this activity. You don't need to rush through it. I noticed that a lot of people did kind of rush through the easier activities that was provided for today. Some people clearly didn't read the directions, so be sure that you're doing that. Okay? All right, let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.